It's the Portland Trail Blazers versus the Golden State Warriors.
It's a beautiful summer-like day in the San Francisco Bay Area, and inside the Oakland Coliseum Arena, a sellout crowd for the 175th consecutive time. Exactly 1 year ago, these were two of the best three teams in the Western Conference. In fact, Portland had the best record overall. But my, how things have changed in the space of 1 year. Both teams have been hit by serious injuries. Portland has only the fifth best record in the West, and Golden State now a long shot to even make the playoffs. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Oakland. Tom Hammond along with Irvin Magic Johnson and Steve Snapper Jones on our almost all-nickname team. You know, there is some irony to all the injuries that have hit these two clubs. A dream teamer is involved on each side. For the Portland Trail Blazers, Clyde the Glide Drexler, who soared so many times in Barcelona, is out, having injured a hamstring just over a week ago against Boston. For the second time this season, he's on the injured list. But Magic, it seems that the malaise affecting the Trail Blazers goes deeper than just the injury to Drexler. What's wrong with Portland?
Well, it's two things. Number one thing is they got to quit making excuses. Quit worrying about who's healthy, who's not. Just go out there and play good basketball. The second thing is they're not playing good team defense. Teams are shooting over 50% against them. They have to cut that down. If they play good defense, that means they're good offense.
Can Portland still win the West?
Oh, they definitely can win the West and win the championship. If they get Clyde Drexler back healthy, watch out for this team in the playoffs.
Well, we said each team had lost a member of the Dream Team squad, and for Golden State, it's Chris Mullin. Mullin, one of the best all-round players in Barcelona. An injury to his thumb on his right non-shooting hand, and he's likely out for the rest of the season. Just one of the many key injuries that have hit the Warriors all year long. Now, Owens will be returning today, but the latest to join this list is point guard Tim Hardaway. He's going to miss a couple of weeks with a bruised knee. Snapper, the Warriors should put a Band-Aid on their logo, I think. But how has all this trouble affected their approach to things?
Well, their approach to things is still very positive. This is a team that likes to score a lot of points. They feel that they can still win. They're on the bubble. The question here in the community is, why do you want to be in the playoffs? The number one team gets the worst seed, which could be these Golden State Warriors, and we know the rule of thumb in the NBA is in order to get good, you got to be bad. That means you're in the ping pong room. That's where they don't want to be, but they've got a good shot. But I expect a real positive game and a lot of points to be scored this afternoon.
Well, things were so bad at the Warriors practice yesterday, we were tempted to suit up. They had to go 4-on-4, and the coaches weren't even there. Only Paul Pressey, who directed the practice. Don Nelson was not on hand. And for more on that story, let's go to Dan Hicks.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. You know, with all the injuries that Golden State has experienced this year, you think the last thing this team would have to worry about is if their coaching staff arrived to the game. But that was in question about an hour and a half ago as Don Nelson and a couple of his assistants arrived at the airport, cutting it a bit close. About an hour and a half before game time, they were on a Midwest scouting trip, and had they not been able to make the game here on time, the lone coach on the Golden State bench would have been Paul Pressey. But, Tom, we can confirm that Don Nelson is indeed in the building.
Much to the relief of Paul Pressey. Well, good news for the Warriors. Billy Owens is back. He'll be starting for Golden State today. And for the Trailblazers, look for Cliff Robinson to pick up the scoring slack in the absence of Clyde Drexler.
Grand Cherokee Limited. With an available 220 horsepower V8 and exclusive standard driver's side airbag, no other vehicle gives you so much latitude. What makes us all the same is that we're all different. And for us individuals, AT&T introduces the I-Plan, long distance that fits the way you live, because it's based on your life. I is for calling plans without complications. People who speak your language and doing things that used to be impossible from almost anywhere on Earth. Imagine having your own I-Plan. I is for individual, only from AT&T.
Let's stop. Where? Nothing around for miles. What about this place?
Once you discovered great taste in less filling beer, what more could you possibly need? Hey, bud, what's your secret? I don't know. Location? Miller Lite is everything you want a beer to be.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Miller Lite, an official sponsor of the NBA on NBC. By AT&T, the right choice. And by Jeep and Eagle, official vehicles of the NBA.
So, welcome back to the Oakland Coliseum Arena. The Portland Trail Blazers against the Golden State Warriors. Here are the lineup for the Blazers in the backcourt. Strickland and Porter, both in somewhat of a shooting slump lately. Cliff Robinson probably on track to be the NBA's sixth man to win that award, but he gets his 10th start of the season along with Buck Williams at forward. Kevin Duckworth has been out of the starting lineup the last few games, but he does get the call at center for the Trail Blazers today. Rick Adelman spent 7 years as an NBA player, 3 of them in Portland, and as their head coach, he has twice taken the Blazers to the NBA Finals. Now the starting lineup for the Golden State Warriors in the back. Jeff Grayer has a bruised leg, will also start. At the forwards, Chris Gatling and Tyrone Hill. Owens will not start. They put Gatling in the starting lineup instead. And Victor Alexander, the starting center, coming off a double-double against the Lakers. And Don Nelson, a member of 5 NBA championship teams in Boston. Now he's the 8th winningest coach in NBA history. And the Warriors 15 games behind last year's pace. It's a good thing the head coach is on good terms with the general manager here at Golden State. Nelson is both.
Well, let's look for a fast-paced start here. I think both teams want to get out and run. Maybe the Portland Trail Blazers will probably trying to wear the Warriors down.
Well, Billy Owens is in the starting lineup. Maybe the confusion due to the late arrival of the coaching staff. In any event, Owens is in there. I asked him yesterday if he were going to start today, maybe not wanting to put too much pressure on the injured knee coming back, and he said, if I'm going to play, I'm going to start, and he was true to his word.
Well, it's good that he's starting because he needs to find out where he is in terms of not only his knee, but the conditioning, too.
Mark and my relationship goes way past business. I'm sure in a previous life, he and I were twin brothers. Throughout the race, the driver and crew chief communicate. On pit stop to make whatever fixes he can to help the driver's predicament. Everyone has about the same access to equipment and technology, but the people who rub on it the most and think the most of it and think about it the most will end up winning the race.
Presenting the new Jeep. Here's the inside. Here's the outside. The bottom. The top. Here it is by itself. Here it is with its competition.
Introducing Wendy's Monterey Ranch Chicken Sandwich.
That looks good. May I have a bite? Is that the new chicken sandwich from Wendy's?
Made with a whole breast filet.
This looks great.
Monterey jack cheese.
That's right.
And ranch dressing with bacon, but do yourself a favor.
Buy 2.
Since your face can't adjust to your razor, the Schick Tracer adjusts to your face. Tracer is the only razor with blades that bend and flex for a clean, close, comfortable shave. Schick. We're changing the face of shaving.
I needed fresh air. You know, the kind of fresh air Nike makes and Jerry Rice obviously knows where to find. The sort of fresh air Tim Hardaway definitely knows where to find. The very fresh air Brady Anderson without a doubt knows where to find. There's one super fresh air at Foot Locker, where it all begins.
Mount Kilimanjaro is 19,340 feet high. Kalihiwai Jungle has an average annual rainfall of 75 inches. These These are some of the specifications used to create Jeep Grand Cherokee.
I'll get it, Olga. It's the American. Ah, they brought Miller Lite.
Americans are here, and they brought Miller Lite.
If you're on a mission for great taste and less filling, Miller Lite. It's everything you want a beer to be. Olga, we don't have salsa. Someone say salsa.
Fred Couples, Payne Stewart, John Daly, Nick Faldo, and defending champion Corey Pavin tee off at the Honda Classic next weekend on NBC.
If there's anyone who can appreciate the Comfort Room waistband, it's Riddick Bowe.
Hey, Daddy.
Thanks, Junior. Fruit of the Loom has woven thousands of softness fibers into a cushion of comfort so gentle on the skin you can barely feel it.
Feel better now, Daddy?
Much better than the other guy, Junior. Comfort Loom from Fruit of the Loom. Clothes for the best of your life.
If your company spends between $25 and $50,000 a month on long distance, MCI will give you 100 days of free long distance calls, including 800 service, over the next 2 years. Just switch some or all of your long distance business to MCI. To do that, just make this free phone call. But call now, before MCI comes to its senses.
What makes Jiffy Lube America's favorite oil change? Over 45,000 satisfied customers a day say it's because of the service. You get trained technicians who take good care of you and your car, plus the performance, protection, and quality of Pennzoil motor oil. So you get top quality service. You and your car deserve the best. So take it to number one. Take it to Jiffy Lube.
Drive in every 3,000 miles.
Michael and the Bulls battle the Pistons. NBC next Sunday.
What makes us all the same is that we're all different. And for us individuals, AT&T introduces the I-Plan, long distance that fits the way you live, because it's based on your life. I is for calling plans without complications, people who speak your language, and doing things that used to be impossible from almost anywhere on Earth. Imagine having your own I-Plan. I is for individual, only from AT&T.
For years, the Toyota truck has stood alone. No longer. Introducing the Toyota T100. Built from the same tough stuff as our compact, only bigger, with more room for 3 inside. And an 8-foot bed, with 4 feet between the wheel wells. Now, when it comes to Toyota trucks, the difference is even bigger.
Wouldn't it be great if you could afford a luxurious mansion? For you and all your friends? Of course, the place needs some updates. Like a bowling alley and a pool table. Naturally, you'd have an open house.
Oh, dear!
With beer!
Harold, do something!
Icy, cold filtered Keystone, Keystone Light, and Keystone Dry. Bottle beer taped in a can. Now, wouldn't that be great?
The reviews are in, and this new Toyota is a winner. Automobile Magazine calls it a global success. Motor Trend calls it a car with definite family influences from Camry and Lexus. Detroit Free Press calls it the benchmark. We call it Corolla, presenting the all-new Toyota Corolla. Discover why, after 25 years, it's still impressing all the right people.
Whoa, Domino's is cooking! it for nothing.
Now buy our new large bacon cheddar cheeseburger. For nothing when you call down the nose.
Why use Valvoline Motor Oil? For their race cars and their own cars. Valvoline is the #1 choice of race mechanics from Indy 500 to Daytona 500 to NHRA to Baja to SCCA.
Every game has its critical moment. So does every life. There's a critical moment for you this prom and graduation season. But it's not when you decide to go to the prom, and it's not when you accept your high school diploma. It's when you and your friends agree to celebrate without alcohol. Make the smart move this prom and graduation season. Leave alcohol out. If I make a bad move, I miss the basket. If you make a bad move, you could miss the rest of your life.
One of these engines was filled with Castrol Syntex, a synthetic oil, the rest with conventional oils. They were then drained and started without oil to prove a point. You see, Syntec has a unique molecular structure that bonds to engine parts. Lab tests show it leaves a layer of protection far stronger than conventional oils. And if Syntec protects this well now, imagine if you leave it in. Castrol Syntex protects in ways other oils can't.
The NFL has lots of brutes. Hulks and bulks and big galoot. When Barry they see, they stare and say, he's a munchkin, he can't play, this'll be an easy day. Sad, he replies, poor me, I'm small. Then by them he flies with the ball. 6'10", he's not the speed he's got. In cushy shoes he trains a lot. So he's not big with bulk and large. Just think of him as turbocharged.
The 1993 Toyota Previa is for those families who always seem to have room for others. It could be because they have room for extra cargo. It could be because they have room for 7. Or it could be because in the Toyota Previa, there always seems to be room for one more.
One skating spectacular, one championship weekend, only on one network, NBC. America's Queen of the Ice, Nancy Kerrigan, leads the greatest gathering on ice at the World Figure Skating Championships, presented by Reebok. 3 nights in prime time, beginning Friday at 8 Eastern on NBC.
Hi, everybody. This is Hannah Storm in New York. Coming up on the Prudential Halftime Report, we'll bring you an extended conversation with the Pistons' Isaiah Thomas. We will get Quinn Buckner's thoughts on the first half between the Blazers and the Warriors, and we'll update you on all the games being played in the NBA this afternoon. And by the way, the future coach of the Dallas Mavericks appreciates all the well wishes from you guys, and he says, Magic, he just might take you up on your offer to come out of retirement. Let's send it back to Oakland and rejoin Tom, Steve, and Magic.
When I hit 100,000 miles, I was driving home from a bat cave where I just seen 6 million bats.
I'd say it would be,
when I hit 200,000 miles, I was on my way to a 100th birthday party.
actually,
Okay, it happened right where the fence starts on the Lamont Bridge.
I don't remember the specific place I was at.
Where were you when your Toyota truck hit 100, 200, 300,000 miles or more? Tell us about it.
I never started really paying attention to mileage until it reached about 400,000.
What's in the bag? Nuts. Big Mac, fries. Play you for it.
You and me for my Big Mac?
First one to miss watches the winner eat. No dunking.
On me. With me. Get in there.
Off the floor, off the scoreboard, off the bank board, no rim.
Over the second rafter, off the floor, nothing but net. Through the window, off the wall, nothing but net.
What you want is what you get, and the God of the day.
Off the expressway, over the river, off the billboard, through the window, off the wall, nothing but net.
This is a Gold MasterCard, okay? Sure, it's got a credit line of at least $5,000, but it won't settle any unresolved issues from your childhood. Well, maybe it could. I mean, no Gold card is more accepted on the planet. You can take your parents to dinner practically anywhere and say, Mom, Dad, you raised me. I owe you a steak. It might be smart to buy them a grandfather clock to replace the one you demolished when you were 8. And if this one gets broken, the Master Purchase Plan can replace it. So, I guess a Gold MasterCard could resolve some childhood issues. Wow. Gold MasterCard. More than a Gold card. Smart money.
An incredible journey through a year in the life of a superstar. Don't miss this special sneak preview of the new home video, Michael Jordan Airtime, next Sunday on NBC.
This is the Prudential Halftime Report, brought to you by the Prudential. In a changing world, one thing remains rock solid, the Prudential.
Halftime at the Oakland Coliseum Arena with the Trailblazers leading the Warriors 53-46. Hannah Storm, along with Quinn Buckner, and, wow, Golden State just does not have the personnel on the floor to compete in this one. They're only shooting 31% and have already turned the ball over 16 times.
Well, when you lose your leading three scorers, it's pretty hard to get points on the board. You can now understand why Don Nelson left to do some scouting, got back just an hour before the game. I suspect he may be leaving shortly after this game to go do some more scouting.
Well, let's scout what's happening around the NBA this afternoon. A couple of scores to run by you. In our earlier matchup, it was the Boston Celtics coming back to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers at home, 96-88 for the Celtics. Reggie Lewis and Kevin Gamble leading the way with 17 points apiece as the Celtics have now won 8 in a row at home. At Orlando Arena, the Clippers and the Magic getting a 112-95 win behind the scoring of Nick Anderson, 14-21 from the floor. He finished with 36 points. Shaq finishing with 23. And at the Bradley Center, a game in progress, Detroit and Milwaukee. The Bucks with a 10-point lead. Pistons, keep in mind, have already dropped 12 straight on the road. And speaking of the Pistons, we have a conversation with their floor leader, point guard Isaiah Thomas. That is next after a message from Prudential and a word from the NBA.
There is one certainty, the financial strength of the Prudential, rock solid in securities, insurance, and real estate.
Playing a game in a big world. A lot of people tell you that, you can't do that.
Stolen by Bo.
I turn that around and say, well, I'm short and I'm going to take it 2 people.
Adams. Down the lane. It really motivated me.
If somebody tells you you can't do anything, you want to go out and prove them wrong.
If you had the right attitude, you'll never come up short. Stay in school.
Next Sunday on NBC, we will have one of the most intense rivalries in recent years in the NBA, the Bulls and the Pistons. Now in his 12th season in Detroit, Isaiah Thomas is still the leader of the once proud Pistons. A few weeks ago, Bob Costa sat down with Isaiah for a wide-ranging interview. Here's the first part.
Isaiah, do you get a feeling that you're entering the last go-round? Maybe not the last season, but the last phase of your career?
Well, of course you do. I definitely don't have as many years left playing basketball as I've played already. And, yeah, that's only the natural progression of being an athlete. I don't feel bad about it. I don't see it as something that I should feel sorry about. I think had I not accomplished the things that I've done in the course of basketball, in the course of being a professional athlete, then I would probably regret the later stages of my career. But yeah, clearly I'm at the end or getting close to the end.
Do you have any regrets?
No. I mean, I did everything that I wanted to do when I came out of college. I wanted to win a championship. I wanted to I wanted to make a lot of money, and I wanted to take care of my family.
And all the things that I left college for, those are the things that I accomplished while I was in the NBA. So no, I don't have any regrets.
How much did it affect you personally last summer when the Olympic controversy came up? Not just being left off, but the perception that people's feelings about you, specifically Michael Jordan, might have had something to do with you being left off.
Well, I was disappointed that I wasn't able to participate and be involved in the Olympics because clearly I think that the way I've gone about playing basketball, I think I should have been a part of that team. Not to say that I'm any better than anybody else, but I felt that the contributions that I've made to the NBA, I thought I should have been a part of that team and wanted to be a part of that team. Now, when it didn't happen, I'm no different than any other person who wants something. You're disappointed about it. But was it the most devastating thing to ever happen to me in my life or in my professional career? No. I was clearly disappointed that I wasn't able to participate and be involved in the Olympics. And I've said that time and time again, and that's not to say that I dislike somebody or don't like anybody. I was disappointed, and I still am disappointed. That's something that I would like to have the opportunity to do, because in '80, when I was on the Olympic team, President Carter chose to boycott the Olympics, so I wasn't able to participate then also.
Yeah, I put myself in the position of the average fan who would say, all right, I understand the disappointment not being able to participate, but if there's some vague notion out there that a person is disliked, not disliked by everybody, but people don't dislike them. Some people don't like them. If there's that vague notion out there, and it's about a popular player, a guy popular enough to be voted in by the fans in the latter stages of his career, they say, that would bother me. I know it would bother me personally. Whether it was productive or not, I'd want to get out there and set the record straight.
Well, see, I've seen several interviews that you've done with players, and I've watched several players being interviewed. And when they're asked a question about me, I haven't heard any of them come out and say, I hate Isaiah Thomas.
True.
Now, am I lying or am I telling the truth?
No, that's accurate.
So you're asking me to defend this vague notion that nobody can attach any person to. I can't fight that. I can't defend that.
Let me pose this question again in a way that maybe is fairer and more to the point. With all the accolades and all the achievements and all the obvious popularity that you enjoy among the fans and the people that cover the game, to what extent, after all these years, do you feel any need to set the record straight about whatever tiny portion of your public image you think isn't fair?
As I said, if I had to do it over again or change anything, the life that I've led in the NBA and the things that I've done, I wouldn't change nothing. I would never compromise my principles, myself, my beliefs. I wouldn't compromise those things. I wouldn't change those things. I wouldn't change anything that I've done, because I look back over my career and the things that I've had to endure from age 19 in this league. See, I grew up in this league. I was a teenager when I came in. I grew up in this league. I don't feel sorry or feel bad for anything that I've done, because I believe that I've done things the way I wanted to do them.
Isaiah Thomas has done a lot for basketball in Detroit. He's truly the architect of basketball tradition as far as the Pistons go. Is that how he will be remembered?
Well, I think so. I think one of the things that we all must remember, and I've known Isaiah since he was probably like 17 years old, this is a young man at 6'1", has taken his team to 2 NBA championships. He's steady success. He's successful on the court with the championships. He has 4 or 5 businesses off the court. So this is a guy that's tried very hard to do the right thing, but he, like the rest of us, makes some mistakes. And unfortunately, his happens to be in the public eye.
We will hear a lot more from Isaiah Thomas next week when we bring you the second part of that interview next Sunday at halftime of the Bulls and Pistons game. And we will get back to the second half of the Blazers and Warriors with Portland leading by 17. That's right after these messages from your local station.
This has been the Prudential Halftime Report, brought to you by the Prudential. In a changing world, one thing remains rock solid, the Prudential.
Saturday, we'll take your breath away, no doubt about it. One cop, 2 women, and a whole lot of heat. Saturdays just got hotter, with all new Reasonable Doubt now on NBC Saturday.
We're here today searching for lottery funds. We're trekking with the director of the Blue Mountains Natural Resources Institute.
We're so strongly linked with natural resources, we need to have a healthy forest in order to have a strong economy. And all of that, of course, equates to jobs.
Would you say that the Oregon lottery dollars that are being used here will somehow help in the economic development of this area?
Oh, yeah. These dollars are a very strong part of helping us plan for our future here in the Blue Mountains.
You're witnessing a highly sophisticated conversation. It's between the BMW 325i and the driver. It's not based on the language of words, but of feelings. How the wheel feels to the fingertips. How the pedals feel to the foot. How the seat feels to the body. But what's truly amazing isn't that this entire conversation took place in just 2.7 seconds, but that it took place at all.
Steve Abrams with Tracy Berry. Now, each weeknight on News 5 and 11.
Halftime at the Oakland Coliseum Arena. The Trailblazers leading the Warriors 53-36. Let's go to Dan Hicks with Coach Don Nelson. All right, thank you very much, Tom. 36 points in the first half, your fewest point total this season, Don. I know you had a lot of turnovers in the second quarter. What has to be the key for the second half to get back into the game?
Well, I think you guys are making my young team nervous. This is as bad as we played in a long time. I think what it is, I think you can see when we have Billy on the floor, you know, it looks like we know what we're doing. When everybody has to step up and all of a sudden become the next man up, you know, it's a little different. And I think a lot of our young kids and our reserves now have to be starters and have to, you know, do more than they're capable of doing, and you see what can happen.
Well, what about Billy Owens? He just had 6 minutes of playing time in the first half. Can we expect to see a little bit more of him in the second half?
Yeah, it's going to go like this. It's going to go 6 in the first half, 8 in the second, and that's all we're going to do. I'm going to bring him along very slowly. We want to make sure that he's all right. This is his first game back, so we want to be careful with him.
All right, Coach, good luck in the second half. Let's go back out to Tom, courtside. Tom. Okay, Dan, a very patient, it would appear, Don Nelson. Almost painful at times to see that team he had on the floor in the first half.
Well, it's painful for him as well as for his players because you got guys out of position trying to do things that they cannot do, and it results into a lot of turnovers.
Well, the best part of it is if you're a team that's strict like the Trailblazers have been, this is a place to get well. This is the kind of game you need. They hope that they can continue it in the second half.
All right, and we'll be back to Oakland for the second half with the Blazers leading the Warriors by 17. We'll be back right after these words.
Fixing up the place? Here's an idea. Get a new Ford Citibank Visa card. And by the time you've bought the curtains and the sofa and the rugs, 5% will go towards a new Ford or Lincoln or Mercury. You could earn a rebate of up to $3,500 faster than any other basic auto rebate card. So you can get something that really hauls or something that really hauls. The new Ford Citibank Visa. Now, isn't that a better idea?
How do you order Miller Genuine Draft Light, the cold-filtered light with smooth draft taste during the big game? Say GD Light and say no more.
Introducing Wendy's Monterey Ranch Chicken Sandwich.
That looks good. May I have a bite? There's a new chicken sandwich from Wendy's.
Made with a whole breast filet.
This looks great.
Monterey Jack cheese.
That's right.
And ranch dressing with bacon, but do yourself a favor.
Buy 2.
What makes us all the same is that we're all different. And for us individuals, AT&T introduces the I-Plan, long distance that fits the way you live, because it's based on your life. I is for calling plans without complications, people who speak your language, and doing things that used to be impossible from almost anywhere on Earth. Imagine having your own I-Plan. I is for individual, only from AT&T.
So you're saying that smoking herb will affect my memory? That's whack. Because I've been getting high since...
Blazers perhaps well on the way to getting well with a 53-36 lead on the Golden State Warriors. Let's take a look at our Miller Genuine Draft halftime stats. Terry Porter leading the way for the Trailblazers and had some of those patented breaks. 50% shooting by the Blazers, only 31% by the Warriors. They were 5 of 21 in the second quarter. Tyrone Hill doing a good job on the boards with 8. Rebounding battle close.
Now, the problem here now for Portland is that they can't fall backwards. You got to keep building. Okay, we ran a lot in the first half. Well, we want to run more in the second half. So they got to keep going, because if they want to get out of this funk that they're into, the way to do it is by doing all the things they have to do right. Good team defense, running, and rebounding.
Gemma Rollins in Silent Cries, NBC Monday.
No, Hoover, not in your mouth. Hoover. Hoover, is there anything you won't put in your mouth? Here, have a potato chip instead.
Tired of those burns? Will do. Today's Lay's. One taste and you'll cash in your old chips.
Ask anyone who's driven a Ford lately. Ask them why Taurus is the best-selling car in America. Why F-Series is the best-selling truck in America. In fact, ask them why 5 of the 10 best-selling cars and trucks in America are Ford. Ask and they'll tell you. Quality breeds success. Have you driven a Ford lately? It's more than just a question. It's an answer.
We've got a bit of an edge with the driver we have. We've got the best driver out there. So it's a matter of the mechanics just not overlooking anything. Al and I stay in constant communication during the race. I have to be aware of what he wants or needs, at all times. I think the small details are is what makes the difference between winning and running second.
We're giving you something for nothing. It's really something. Really something when you call Domino. Now buy our new large bacon cheddar cheeseburger pizza with ground beef, bacon, mozzarella, and cheddar cheeses at regular price. And you get a medium one-topping pizza free. Brazil, nada, for free. Tell them what our guaranteed 30-minute delivery costs us. Nothing. Something for nothing when you call Domino.
Since your face can't adjust to your razor, the Schick Tracer adjusts to your face. Tracer's the only razor with blades that bend and flex for a clean, close, comfortable shave. Schick. We're changing the face of shaving.
How do you order a Miller Genuine Draft Light? The cold filtered light with smooth draft taste at happy hour.
1 GD Light, please.
Say GD Light. Say no more.
Seems that some boys just don't know how to play nice.
So you wanna play her?
Introducing the bold new Ford Ranger.
You say you wanna play me?
With its new look, Ranger's changing the rules. The stance is wider, and with push-button four-wheel drive and a new body full of curves, guess we're just not playing fair.
Fred Couples, Payne Stewart, John Daly, Nick Faldo, and defending champion Corey Pavin tee off at the Honda Classic next weekend on NBC.
Ford makes it easy to buy a new Escort by offering these 4 LX models, all equipped with these great features for one low price. And now we're also offering an easy 2-year lease for just $199 a month. That's your choice of 4 well-equipped Escorts for just $199 a month. Ford Escort. Now it's easier than ever to buy or lease America's most popular small car.
The game of basketball to me is the best feeling in the world. It's a feeling that you can't explain.
I enjoy the competition. You have to love what you do. There's no other place I'd rather be than on a basketball court during an NBA game. I just love the game of basketball that much. I feel I need to play all the time. It's that much joy. It's that much fun playing the game.
Steve Abrams with Tracy Berry. Now, each weeknight on News 8 at 5 and 11.
Sir, this is one of the few businesses that doesn't advertise in the GTE everything pages. Why is that?
Well, this is Tommy's Toys. I'm Tommy, and these are my toys. And that's my toy, too. And that's mine, and that's mine. Now, if I advertise in that book, there'll be lots of people in here wanting to touch my toys. Maybe even take my toys, but they can't. They're my toys.
Businesses that want to be successful advertise in the GTE everything pages. Those that don't.
Why they call them dogs isn't so important. What's important is once you eat one, you want another right away. Well, at AM/PM, you can get free fries plus 2 Oscar Mayer hot dogs for just 99 cents, which won't buy the mustard at some joints. So you eat your first hot dog, enjoy some free fries, and just when you have an insatiable urge for another dog, there it is. 99 cents. Never did an insatiable urge a bigger favor. Get more, spend less at AM/PM.
More small screen fun facts than you can fathom. Monday at 6:30. Michael and the Bulls battle the Pistons. NBC next Sunday.
This is our vision of what a luxury sedan should be. Not because it offers rich leather and anti-lock brakes, but because it comes standard with an airbag on the driver's side and the passenger side as well. Creating a luxury sedan where even peace of mind is shared. The Mazda 929.
In a world of sweeping changes, there is one certainty. The financial strength of the Prudential, rock solid in securities, insurance, and real estate.
The Germans believe their legendary all-barley lagers are the finest in the world. We'd like to suggest that they come to the New World. Order a Miller Reserve Lager and taste what barley does for our beer. Miller Reserve Lager.
You dreamed about it, but it took McDonald's to make it happen. A one-on-one showdown between you and Michael Jordan. Buy a McDonald's extra value meal and get an NBA fantasy pack free, or pick one up for only 59 cents with any other purchase. Collect exclusive Upper Deck NBA cards, win fantasy prizes like NBA season tickets, or a chance to meet the man himself.
Eyes closed, off the board, nothing but net.
Here we go again. Hurry, because what you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
In December, Motor Trend chose the all-new Mazda 626ES as a best buy in sports sedans. They praised its handling, standard airbags, room for 5 real-sized humans, and sporty Luxo surroundings. I wonder what they'd say about a Mazda 626DX for $199 a month. It's a $199 lease, but it's only good until March 20th, so hurry.
One of these engines was filled with Castrol Syntec, a synthetic oil, the rest with conventional oils. They were then drained and started without oil to prove a point. You see, Syntec has a unique molecular structure that bonds to engine parts. Lab tests show it leaves a layer of protection far stronger than conventional oils. And if Syntec protects this well now, imagine if you leave it in. Castrol Syntec protects in ways other oils can't.
What makes us all the same is that we're all different. And for us individuals, AT&T introduces the I-Plan, long distance that fits the way you live, because it's based on your life. I is for calling plans without complications. People who speak your language. and doing things that used to be impossible from almost anywhere on Earth. Imagine having your own iPlan. I is for individual, only from AT&T.
By request, Domino's Pizza and something for nothing.
Something for nothing.
Now buy a large bacon cheddar cheeseburger pizza at the regular price and get a medium one-topping pizza free. Coming to you hot and fresh, and delivery costs nothing.
How do you order a Miller Genuine Draft Light? The cold filtered light with smooth draft taste at a singles bar.
Let me have a GD Light. Anyone have change for 20? We'll let him in here.
Say GD Light and say no more.
Why can't Van doors swing open instead of slide? Why do minivans handle like trucks? Why can't they feel more like a car? This is what the engineers at Mazda wondered when they designed the MPV. Because when you ask better questions, you tend to come up with better answers.
Why does your door do that?
The Mazda MPV.
Next Sunday, a renewal of one of basketball's greatest rivalries in a Motown showdown. As Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and the world champion Chicago Bulls, in pursuit of the coveted and elusive three-peat, battle Isaiah Thomas and the Detroit Pistons. The NBA on NBC Game of the Week, next Sunday.
I have to think that when someone watches me play tennis, they say, well, here's a real intense, possibly angry young man. I am intense, but once I get away, then I open up a little bit more.
Why use Valvoline Motor Oil? For their race cars and their own cars. Valvoline is the #1 choice of race mechanics from Indy 500 to Daytona 500 to NHRA to Baja to SCCA.
A twin blade from Bic?
What's in it for me?
This is new? A twin for normal skin and a twin for sensitive, right?
It was good. The new Bic Twin Select.
Made a big man out of me.
They say you are what you drink. We couldn't agree more.
One skating spectacular, one championship weekend, only on one network, NBC. America's Queen of the Ice, Nancy Kerrigan, leads the greatest gathering on ice at the World Figure Skating Championships, presented by Reebok. 3 nights in prime time, beginning Friday at 8 Eastern on NBC.
Everybody, Hannah Storm back in New York, and coming up we have for you a smorgasbord of items. We keep you up to date on the NBA scoreboard. We'll also have highlights from the Cavaliers and Celtics, also the Clippers and Magic this afternoon. And we'll have a look at the red-hot Seattle Supersonics, winners of 10 straight games. We'll get to that right after these messages.
If your company spends between $25 and $50,000 a month on long distance, MCI will give you 100 days of free long-distance calls, including 800 service, over the next 2 years. Just switch some or all of your long-distance business to MCI. To do that, just make this free phone call. But call now, before MCI comes to its senses.
How do you order Miller Genuine Draft Light? The cold filtered light with smooth draft taste at a Fern bar? You don't. GD Light is far too cool for a Fern bar. Say GD Light. Say no more.
Everybody needs some. $12 for every mile over the limit.
That's $300.
You can add fast, too. Next.
To send someone money fast, call 1-800-CALL-CASH or come to any Western Union location. Western Union, the fastest way to send money.
6 Central. An hour full of mysteries that only you can help solve. A special Unsolved Mysteries at 7, 6 Central. NBC Tonight.
Tonight, the most horrific airshow disaster ever, and the hero who raced into the flames to save his son.
I found him right away. He asked for Daddy.
Eyewitness video, NBC Tonight.
Welcome back to Showtime, everybody. Again, the final from Oakland is Portland 113, Golden State 96. Now let's get you up to speed on what else happened around the NBA today. And the Clippers were in Orlando. The final there, 112-95. Keep in mind the Clips holding on to the final playoff spot in the West. Orlando 7th in the East. Early second quarter, Shaq's double-teamed. What does he do? Of course, he passes out of it. And to the right guy, Nick Anderson, 10 of 13 shooting from the field. He had 23 points later. Now look at this. Kenny Norman of the Clips, Jeff Turner of Orlando coming together. A few words exchanged, a few pushes, a few shoves, and, yeah, a couple of ejections. Now, the Magic led by 4 at the half. Third quarter, Tom Tolbert setting up Shaq. Jump hook. He finished with 23 points. Orlando opens up a 74-62 lead at that point, and they blow it open in the fourth. Manning stripped by Shaq. Shaq starts the break. Nick Anderson finishes up and finished the game with 36 points. O'Neal with a season-high 6 assists today, passing out of those double teams. And there you see the final once more, 112-95. Now let's take you to Boston Garden in game 1 of our doubleheader today. It was Boston coming back to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. First quarter action, Brad Daugherty baseline on Parrish for 2 of his 15 points in the first half. He got the best of Robert Early. But in the second half, the Celtics come back. Reggie Lewis, 3-point play. Celtics go up 84-81. He and Kevin Gamble finishing with 17. Late in the fourth, D. Brown open jumper with time running out on the shot clock. Boston a 4-point lead. They come back to win this game after trailing by as much as 11, 96-88. The Celtics are on a roll at the Garden. They have won 8 straight at home. Also, they had 11 blocks to 3 for the Cavaliers. At the Bradley Center, it was Detroit coming back to beat Milwaukee by a final of 98-91. Detroit outscoring the Bucks 28-10 in the fourth quarter, snapping their 12-game road losing streak. Again, we'll see Detroit and the Bulls next Sunday here on NBC. And at Miami Arena, the Heat has won 7 straight at home and been on somewhat of a roll, but a close game right now. They're tied with the Indiana Pacers in a game that a lot of people will be looking forward to tomorrow night, Quinn. The matchup in the middle between Shaquille O'Neal and Patrick Ewing, and certainly Pat Riley stoking the fires of that particular rivalry at centers with his comments around the All-Star game.
Yeah, and it's probably a good idea because what you're looking at is possibly the playoff match between Orlando and the New York Knicks, and you want to try to make sure you get your home court advantage established. Patrick has a tough time playing against Shaquille because Shaquille is so strong, but Patrick also has to be concerned because Shaquille has the quickness. This is the youth versus the older guy. Everybody's trying to say, I'm the man. This is a chance to see it. It ought to be a great game.
It's a theme that we're getting awfully familiar with, the matchups in the middle here in the NBA, and a big win for Portland Trailblazers, don't you think? I mean, certainly one that most people would have felt was a given, given the poor condition of Golden State and all of their injuries. But they have 11 of their next 15 on the road, Portland, and they had been struggling.
Well, they've definitely been struggling, so this was a win I thought they had to have, and they came up with it.
Okay, well, as we mentioned earlier on Showtime, the Seattle Supersonics are one of the hottest teams in the NBA, winners of 10 straight, and very much in the title hunt in the league. And here's a look at a team that not a lot of people have known about.
Our main goal is try and win a championship. You know, we can't control who gets the recognition.
When you're up and coming team, that's the way you like it. You'd rather be the underdog coming up instead of having all the pressure put on your back.
I think we're the only team that can go 10 or 12 deep and still won't hurt ourselves.
The Seattle Supersonics may have been the NBA's best-kept secret, but now they have the league's second-best record, and they've won 10 consecutive games behind rising superstar Shawn Kemp.
One thing Shawn does, he plays hard every night. And that's the one thing I like about him. Regardless whether he's not playing well or not, he plays hard. And that's going to really boost him to superstardom.
He's a star factor for us, and that's
I don't know if there are many championship teams built without a star.
My job is just to come in and give, 100% every time I'm out there on the court. It's not like we have a big presence in the middle now. We don't have a true 7-footer out there. So I think my job is just to help us out with the defensive end, the scoring, and pretty much whatever I can.
Coach George Karl also deserves credit for the Sonics' success. The team is 67-32 since he took over.
George came in and said, look, I want you to play a little wild. I want you to play free and just play your game. And what it did, it gave our young guys a lot of confidence.
If we're playing real bad at halftime, he'll get in there, he'll kick garbage cans, he'll throw things, he'll walk out, and I think that motivates us.
And while all other contenders stood pat, Seattle beat the trade deadline and acquired Sam Perkins from the Lakers, a move that just may put the Sonics over the top.
He's a team player. He understands defense, he understands rebounding, he understands making free throws. He's extremely sound in the ingredients that produce winning. He's a good, smart player, a guy you can throw the ball to in the low post, and he's going to do positive things with the ball. If he doesn't score, he's going to kick it out to the open man, and we needed that on this team.
While the Sonics may continue to try and avoid the spotlight, a team with a future this bright can only escape an opponent's glare for so long.
I kind of enjoy the little laid-back role and the people still skeptical about us, and we'll just continue to win ball games.
We have all what we need to win a championship here.
I think we have the talent to go to the championship. I think now it's about how we handle ourselves mentally and going into the playoffs.
Well, we talked about that showdown between Shaq and Ewing on Monday night. Get a load of this matchup on Tuesday. The Sonics at the Bulls. Coach Buckner, how do you see that game being played out? Because Michael Jordan's going to be back.
Well, I think for the Seattle Supersonics, they're right. They're going to have to find out how much confidence they do have in themselves. You don't go into Chicago Stadium playing the world champions and think you're going to sneak up on Michael Jordan. I guarantee you, he hadn't played. He's probably sitting at home, getting ready, soaking it up, because that should be an exciting game. Anytime a player's been out, he's a little more edgy, a little more anxious to get back involved.
The Sonics are so tough to prepare for. They can go big, they can go small. Is that a potentially a dangerous factor when it gets to a 5- or 7-game playoff series down the road?
Well, it may be a tough situation for most teams, but I contend with the Chicago Bulls, the Bulls will make you play their game. So Seattle is still the one looking up at the Bulls.
Who knows, but this could be a preview of the NBA Final. Thanks, Quinn, and a reminder that our coverage of the World Figure Skating Championships presented by Reebok begins next Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. The men's competition is Friday, and then Saturday evening, also in prime time, it's the women's competition.
Yesterday, in front of a network audience, the Warriors were playing without Chris Mullen, Tim Hardaway, Sarunas Marcelonis, and a bunch of other guys. The Blazers look good. Rod Strickland, 18 points, 14 assists. It was an easy win. They shot well. 113-96 the final. Today, the guys were back home, and Rod says the Warrior win was nothing to get too excited about.
We can't be lax with our little success yesterday because, like I said, they were injured and things like that. But hopefully, that was a confidence builder.
Meanwhile, there was a new rage in Portland, and it's a professional...
Anybody. The Warriors only dressed 8 guys, and the Blazers tanned their fannies by game's end. Strickland, the big Mark Bryant, and Portland never looked back. Mario Elie made Golden State pay for letting him go. Terry Porter to Elie for the slam dunk. Elie burned his old team for 17 points. Check out the defense. Elie knocked that ball away. Elie to Cliff Robinson. Look at the man dribble. It's a slam dunk. 18 points for Cliff. Now check out this rookie Freewell. He thinks he has 2, but no. Buck Williams just wrecked everything. Elie with the slingshot to Cliff Robinson. Cliff gets it to Porter. Porter had 22 points. 53, 36 Blazers at halftime. The fewest halftime points for the Warriors this year. Strickland like Jerry Rice. Then Strickland, who had 14 assists to Cliff Robinson. Say it tough. Cliff Robinson. Strickland also had 18 points, and this baby was over at the end of the third quarter. The Warriors cut it to 7 in the fourth, but Elie scored 6 points during an 11-0 run. The Warriors wish they had Elie now. Portland over Golden State, 113-96. Meanwhile, the Blazers held a light practice this afternoon before hitting the road again with a swing to the Lone Star State. Up next, lousy Dallas, and that effective 3-guard lineup may be called upon again for the Blazers.
Well, first of all, we have to play defense so we can get the ball and just push it up the court. And with Mario and Terry and myself in there, you have 3 guys who can push the ball up and 3 guys who can finish.
I really believe once they win a game, they're probably going to win 4 or 5 games. But, it's real touchy because no one wants to lose to them, and you got to go down there and play. But it doesn't matter who you lose to or who you beat, as long as you win games.
Back in Philadelphia.